everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? So happy to be here with you today. We are starting another week of really fun projects. This week we're using the Seasonal Branches bundle. It is a new bundle in the new catalog, and I think it's just fantastic because it fits all the seasons. You have your leaves and your florals, you have your little berries, you have your apples, you have small images of the leaves and the flowers and the berries, and then you have this cute little bird and fantastic sentiments. It's a really great little set of products, and it's very well done. I'll explain more as I start actually into our design of how ingenious the artists are at Stampin' Up and how these designers put these things together to make things so much simpler for us. But for right now, I wanted to talk to you about that. We are using that, and I'm also using this Wanted to Say set of dies. So let me show you everything in the catalog. So first of all, here is Seasonal Branches. It's on page 21. You have a bunch of cute samples here for you to use. And the bundle is $53. You save $6 when you purchase it as a bundle. It's a 10% savings. So it's a $60 purchase, and you'll save $6 to purchase it as a bundle. So that's the first thing. The paper that I'm using on this is called, sorry, I have the wrong one. I thought I tagged the right one, but I haven't. Here it is, wrong page. It's on page 129. It's called Delightfully Eclectic. And it is quite a cool grouping of designer series paper. Lots of different things, styles, boldness, subtle, really great paper. It's a big paper pack. You get 48 sheets in the pack for $30. It's quite a good deal. And then the Wanted to Say dies are on page 167. There they are right there. You can see how cool this die set is. It has lots of little small things like flowers and hearts and stars. But you have the Feel Better Soon, which with its shadow, You're Too Kind with its shadow, Celebrate, and Happy Birthday, both with their shadows. So it's a really fantastic little die set. It's $39. It's a standalone. It doesn't go with any particular stamp set, but works with all of them. And I did want to show you that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take this stuff off the table and bring in our card. So this is the card we're doing today, and I'll be explaining the dies and the different elements just like I normally do when I am talking about what I'm going to be making. So we're starting first with a piece of crumb cake, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and put it together. I always join the two corners, hold on to those, and make sure you have a nice straight burnished card. We have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 DSP from that Delightfully Eclectic, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat because you guys know I get messy. And we are going to go ahead and layer that onto our crumb cake with some multi-purpose adhesive. All right, get our bone folder out of the way. And I really like this paper. I love all these little busy little dots. I think they're fun. And of course, I'm gonna grab the 2-inch rubber roller, and we will, there's some static. That was what that crackling sound was. Pretty wild, huh? All right, so there is our base. So we are going to be working on this section here, which is basic white and crumb cake. So I'm going to set this to the side for right now, and I'll give you the measurements. So the piece of crumb cake is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and the piece of basic white is 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. And these are going to be layered one on top of each other. But before I do that, I'm going to grab a scrap piece of cardstock because we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. You guys know me and my ink blending. We're going to use our bubble bath and a blending brush. I'm gonna start off just to get that initial piece, and then I'm just gonna slowly blend that pretty glow of that bubble bath ink. I want it to be darker at the top and a little lighter towards the bottom. I still want it there, but I definitely want the white to show. I don't want to color the whole piece, but I just want to have a little bit of pop of that color right there. So that's it for our bubble bath. We're also going to use it in cardstock for our shadow on our words. So let's talk about that next, after I adhere these two layers together. I'm also going to use multi-purpose glue for this purpose. All right, so as far as this die set that we're using, wanted to say, I love any kind of words, you know, I'm kind of a little bit font obsessed, and alphabets, any kind of wording, I love letters. And so, of course I had to get this die set because it combines my love of dies and words into one package, so I can't lose. So we're gonna go ahead and layer this. I'm gonna use my roller and make sure that it's nice and adhered. All right. So next, we're gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna bring my shadow in, and we're gonna bring our words. I gotta find them. I already die cut them out. To kind. So I have a little bit of residue from the die cutting. Let's use the pointy end. We're gonna pop that out. Pop this one out. I think the 2 is fine. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put our adhesive on here. Let's get rid of these little tiny centers so that I don't like stick them by accident. They don't get attached somehow onto my piece. All right, so we're gonna glue those right onto this piece here. So let me grab my multi-purpose glue. I'm just gonna be really gentle with, let me bring you guys down so that you can see a little better. Here we go. So first of all, that's the first thing I wanna do. I don't want my glue coming out too fast, so I'm just wiping off. The key is to use a light hand, of course. Now my glue is going crazy. Because I brought the camera down, and of course, you know, you gotta have a little, oh my gosh, look, it's just like literally spewing glue. Okay, so let's get another one because I can't have that. I only need a very little bit, so I'm gonna grab a baby wipe and I'm gonna wipe this off. And see if I can get that to stop spewing glue. Let's clean this before I stick my hand in. And I was gonna try and use it, but no. Okay, let's try again. So we want a light hand. So I'm just barely going to touch the glue, and I'm just gonna deposit a little bit here and there, dots, lines, just dragging my glue around because I don't want too much. I just want it to be very light. So there's that one. Grab my tweezers and we'll put this down and we'll just start positioning it. I kind of drop it and then I use my fingers and we can slide it into place. So there's your. Now we're gonna do 2. All right, let's, hopefully the glue doesn't get crazy again. All right, so there's that. So as you can see, I'm putting very little glue. It doesn't need a lot. This glue is very strong. It's a fantastic adhesive, and it bonds paper to paper so well. So there's really not much that you need. Grab our tweezers again. We're gonna set that one on our shadow. All right, And like I said, you just kind of move it and wiggle it into place. Now we're gonna do kind. Just make sure your glue is not spewing like mine was, because that's crazy, right? I can't have that. You'd have a mess on your hands. You have to control the glue, not let the glue control you. Oh boy. All right, so that's all we need there. We're gonna do You're Too Kind. And I'm gonna place it, but then I'm gonna wiggle it around. Like I need it to go up a little higher. So I'm gonna slide this in place where it lives, how I want it to sit and be and act and look. And when I'm happy with that, give it a nice press, just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and attach that section because it's getting glued flat to this bottom. So let's go ahead and do that part. And the shadow is nice and big. You don't have to worry about trying to, you know, not put too much glue. Again, I'm gonna grab my tweezers and we will attach this near the bottom section, about right there. You're Too Kind. That looks pretty fantastic. All right, so now we're gonna tie our ribbon. So as you can see here, we have our ribbon tied, and then we'll know how much room we have for our bird. I forgot to grab something. Give me 1 second because we need something when we do this ribbon. All right, I got it. This ribbon frays, and I don't want it to fray, so I'm going to show you how to stop it from fraying, but I didn't have what I needed in front of me. All right, so we're going to tie our knot, and you can tie it anywhere. We'll just slide it into place when it's time. I like to hold with one of my other fingers, and then get my knot ready. And then slowly ease it off and pull it kind of in the direction that I want my ends to go. And that's how I get it to lay. You know, ribbon doesn't always listen to us, but sometimes, especially this is a really easy ribbon to tie. So I'm going to bring it down just slightly. And I'm going to trim it. And you can see already it's fraying and how badly it frays. So let's go ahead and tie that. I want it a little bit up. So I'm kind of telling it what to do. I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors and we are going to trim. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to keep it from fraying. So there's one. There's the second cut. All right. So you're going to use a lighter. So I have this long, you know, from the dollar store. The key is you're using paper. You don't want to set it on fire. So you want to make sure that your ribbon is up. And then you're just going to run this along the edge of that ribbon. And then it singes that edge right there and seals it. So we're going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to hold it upwards and then just run this right along that edge. And you can see how it singes that edge, and then it will never come frayed. Isn't that fantastic? All right, so get you a dollar store lighter, and I like using those long ones because I can position them better, I think, or I feel like I can. Maybe I can't, but it feels like I can position them the way that I need them. I'm gonna put my ribbon scissors away and let's move on to our bird. So I stamped our bird and I colored him already, but I'm gonna show you how to color him. So I stamped him in an espresso. early espresso ink. And then I colored him all over in light daffodil Stampin' Blend. And then over all the marks that the artist left on our bird, I just went over those marks and over the feet and the beak with dark daffodil. And that's how I colored him out. And then I went ahead and cut him out. Now, the branch, I stamped the branch on some crumb cake, and I stamped it with crumb cake ink. So that's tone on tone, and then I die cut the branch out. And then I wanted the berries. So when you stamp the berries, you can see how many there are, okay? And Stampin' Up ingeniously has made a die. This is the one for the berry. No, this is the one for the berries. And it's all one piece. But the way they design this branch is that all the pieces touch all the pieces. So it's really cool. So see, these here touch these branches. This touches that branch here. These butt up against that one. This has some berries for here, and then these fall across the top. So you can attach it as one unit. And I stamped the berries in Moody Mauve. And I started filling it in with the Moody Mauve Stampin' Blend. I didn't finish it all the way so that I could show you how we go about doing so. So I just hit a little dot and finished filling all of those in. You can see that when it dries, it lightens. I'll show you closer. You can see these ones that I did here are a little darker, so it does lighten as it dries. And it's a pretty cool little thing. So let's go ahead and attach it. And if you're wondering which way it goes, just try and line up so all your branches hit your pieces. So what I'm gonna do is add wet adhesive to each of my branch pieces. Come on. So each of these little branches is gonna get a dot of adhesive, because all of them will be covered, because that's how they were designed. It's pretty fantastic. The leaves, the flowers, all of them are the same. They're all stamped as one unit, die cut as one unit, and then you attach them, and they look like they're separate, that they fit and hit all the, all the separate parts, but it's pretty cool how all of that fits together. And you can see that the branch pieces fall on all of these parts from the back side. All right, so this bird and this little branch is going to be lifted up. So here comes mini glue dots to the rescue. Not glue dots, mini dimensionals to the rescue. I have a lot, you know me and my dimensionals. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to support the areas where I have those branches, and I'm putting a mini dimensional over all of those just to make sure that it's held nice and tight. So each one of those is going to get a mini dimensional. And I think that that's a good way to go about doing it. And that way you know for sure that all your pieces are attached nicely. And you know me, I always use a lot of dimensionals. Then we're going to cut the edges of the dimensionals to fit the stem. So I have this piece that has been, as you can see, very well loved. So we'll start here. We're just going to cut a few thin little slivered pieces, and I'm going to pull them all off at the same time. It just makes my life easier. And then one at a time, I'm going to attach them, and I'm going to pull the backs off of them because they're very hard to remove with the take your pick tool when they're little skinny pieces like this. So I'll just do it all at one time with my hands. All right, so we're working our way down the branches. I might need one more, but I think 5 might make it. Let's see. Yeah, I think 5 is good because we have a lot of support up there. Whoops. All right, so here's the last one. All right, so those middle sections are all the backs are off of them. We're gonna add dimensionals to our bird, just not on the feet because the feet are gonna hug the branches. So we'll grab our minis. We'll put one on the head, one there, one there. And then I'm gonna put a thin piece again using the sides here. I'm gonna cut me a little piece and I'm gonna use that for the tail because it needs to be a little bit skinny. We'll start that. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling all the backs off and just have them ready to go. Well, let's throw these in the trash first. All right, so I just have to remove all of the mini ones, the little small pieces that I cut. Those are off. This is a fun card. All right, so we'll put our branch first, which is sticking to my fingers. Fun, fun, fun. And we want the branch to kind of be angled onto our piece like that. That looks pretty awesome. And then for our bird, I'm gonna put a little bit of wet glue on the feet. And then we'll sit him there, make sure his tail's not on, but his feet are on the branch. Isn't he precious? He's so cute. And then I'm gonna flip to the back. We're gonna use large dimensionals or regular size. We'll put 3 down each side. And then 2. And we'll pull the backs off of those. All right. And then this is going to get attached onto our card. I'm going to hold it up and I'm actually going to bring the camera back up a little. I just want to make sure that we're not crooked. All right. I want you to be able to see what's happening here. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, I stuck that down. I got so lucky I didn't push it hard. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look at this and make sure that all my sides are even, or as best I can. I mean, life's not perfect and I'm not either. All right, so there we go. When I'm happy with the placement, I will push it. And you can see how pretty our ribbon looks. And I'm gonna actually pull it a little bit this way so that it's not sticking out so much onto my words. There we go. So let's do the inside. So for the inside, I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4, and you can see I sometimes print onto my DSP by accident. My cardstock by accident, and I did that in this instance. But the beautiful thing is that you can use 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. No one will ever know that I have ink on the back there. So we'll go ahead and attach this inside of our card. Use my roller and make sure that my paper really bonds well. All right, now the next thing is I have a piece of 3/4 of an inch by 4 of the same designer series paper that I used on the front. So we're going to go ahead and add our multi-purpose glue to that. And then I will add that on, and then we're gonna stamp. I'm gonna use some Moody Mauve. Let's go ahead and place this down here. And I wanna leave about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or so. And I also wanna make sure that it's nice and centered. There we go. So we're gonna stamp on here, sending an abundance of thanks. So we have 2 stamps. The nice thing about this stamp set is it allows you to intermingle the stamps. So you'll see when I do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the word thanks. And I'm going to try and make sure that I'm in camera because I can't tell if I am. So no, I'm not. So let's move this up. Sorry about that, guys, that you missed seeing me put that. You probably missed seeing me put that DSP down. I apologize. But I'm going to put thanks right here in the center, close to my DSP, and I'm going to clean that. I'll show you the stamp set again real quick when we're done with this sentiment section. Sending an abundance of. So I'm going to look right through my stamp and hover this right above the word thanks. Sending an abundance of thanks. Let me clean my stamp and then I will explain the interchangeable sentiments. All right. Put away my moody mauve. All right, let's look at the stamp set. So we have sending an abundance of get well wishes, sending an abundance of happy birthday wishes, sending an abundance of love, of thanks, and then you have this beautiful sentiment, may you feel sheltered in the love that surrounds you. I think that's really beautiful, and you're in my thoughts. So it's quite a little versatile set. If you haven't seen it in the catalog, I hope that now you are intrigued enough by it that you'll check it out. I certainly enjoy always bringing you some really fun projects and products that I think that you would like. So Seasonal Branches bundle, and don't forget about Wanted to Say dies. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm so grateful to have you always with me, and I will see you here next time. Don't forget my live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!